What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again for another disturbing Jay Slater video. Big up everyone that left comments on the last video. We were talking about the layby. No, the layby. For some reason I was calling it layby, but it is actually layby. I do apologize. Number of people that left a similar comment. It was a very valid point being made, in fact, and I want to address that in this video. So got a number of interesting things that we are going to be running through in this video, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you hit the like button. Let's start with this. This right here is extremely interesting. This was actually brought to my attention a few days ago. Decomposed body found off the coast of Tenerife. And this was published on the 23rd of December, 2024, 2 days before Christmas. So what it says here is the Guardia Civil have reported the discovery of a severely decomposed body off the Portitito du Gemir, I'm not too sure if I'm pronouncing that right, on the east coast of Tenerife. A decomposed body. It says here the body was found on Sunday following a request for assistance from the local police, who had received a tip-off from a member of the public. The recovery of the body was carried out by the Guardia Civil patrol boat, which located and retrieved the body from the sea. Details regarding the identity of the deceased remain unknown at this time. Now that's extremely interesting. Why? Because there's so many people that have gone missing and found dead in Tenerife. It is unbelievable. Right now, they have taken charge of an investigation, opening proceedings to determine the circumstances surrounding the incident and the cause of death. There are some people that actually questioned whether the body that the Slaters had taken home was even Jay's or not. And here we are again with another story talking about a decomposed body found in Tenerife. I tried to do some research online to see if there is any other information regarding this decomposed body, but there's nothing. If I do get any updates on this story, then I will bring it to your attention, but it's extremely interesting to find out who the identity of that body is. Now, this is one of the clips that we reacted to in our last video, and there was a number of people that made some valid points in the comment section, which I actually want to talk about in this video. People said that it pulled into the layby due to the potential blind spot. There was a blind spot. They needed space to actually see if there was oncoming cars, and I totally get it. However, I'm going to disagree with that point. Even though it's valid and it definitely makes a lot of sense, I believe they pulled into that layby because they was looking along the edges, and I think these guys done this in every single layby along this road. Why? Because they were potentially looking for Jay. And let's prove it. There is a car parked in the layby at this moment in time, right? When this car passes, it doesn't use the layby. It gives itself enough space to see if there's oncoming cars. So you don't necessarily need to use the layby. So on that basis, I believe the car that drove into the layby in the last footage drove into the layby slowly because whoever was in the car was looking over the edges to see if they could see anything. What were they looking for? Maybe they were looking for Jay Slater. But right here we have more proof that people were in these laybys looking for something. Here we have someone in the layby standing there, walking around, doing something. Cars driving up and down. So this car drives into the layby and picks the person up. What are they looking for? What are they looking for? Look. That first one gets into the car. I reckon this car went to every single layby along this road because they were checking to see if Jay was there. We don't know who's in this car though. This could be Jay's friends looking for Jay, or this could be Ayab and the guys at the Airbnb looking for Jay. Now, I know they claim that they were driving a rental and we see Rocky sleeping in that dark or grey coloured car. But one thing we do know is that there were 2 white coloured cars at the Airbnb, as well as that motorbike. And if you never saw the motorbike in the last video, look closely. The motorbike is coming down the hill. But the 2 white cars and the motorbike, they're both there. But one thing that's not there is someone else's apartment. Because in the DTR video, where he shows us the back of the Airbnb, there is no other apartment there. There's a garage, and where the motorbike's parked, there's nothing there. There's no other door entrance. It seems like you can park your car there or park your motorbike there, or whoever owns that Airbnb that Ayab stayed in would park their motorbike and their cars there. So the 2 white cars outside the Airbnb, as well as the motorbike, belong to the people that own that Airbnb. Who's to say Ayab and Lemlot didn't drive the white car to go chase Jay down the road? If Jay did actually leave the Airbnb in fear and walk uphill, and Ophelia saw him walking uphill, who's to say these guys didn't get in the white cars that were outside the Airbnb and drive up looking for him? So this is 2 different bits of footage, ladies and gentlemen, because in the last video, we see people get out of the car walking on the dirt roads, the side road off the main road, and they were looking for something. It looks like they were looking over the edges. And then again, in this video, we have another bit of footage where people are in the lay-by looking for something. So again, there's quite a lot of webcam footage from Masca, but one thing we don't have is Jay walking up that road. All of these webcams, but there's no footage of Jay actually walking up this road. They must have footage of Jay walking up this road if he actually walked up this road. But I just don't believe Jay walked up this road. If Jay went up this road, he was in the back of the car, they drove past the Airbnb, continued driving all the way up to this point, and then they either decided to let Jay out when he was waved out of his face and he was trying to find his way back and he fell off a cliff, or they pushed him off a cliff. But I'm telling you now, Jay never walked up this road. Not at 8:30 in the morning with that type of climate in that country. It makes no sense to walk up this hill. Another thing that doesn't make any sense to me is Ayub claims that he booked the Airbnb on the 14th of June. Well, the 14th of June is Friday, the 14th of June. And as far as I've been made aware, Jay Slater landed in Tenerife on the Friday. So Ayub booked the Airbnb on the Friday that Jay landed in Tenerife. Not only that, on the day where Ayub is seen in his pink t-shirt driving towards Masca, that would have been the same day he linked up with people like this. This person right here is one of Tom Hilton's boys. If he's wearing a pink t-shirt on this day, I can only assume this is the same day he would have been sitting at the table with Lucy when she was wearing the white dress. It's all on the same day. So you're doing videos with people that are close to Tom Hilton that we can only assume are pagans of Jay. And then later on, you've got Jay in the back of your car, taking him to the mountains. But literally from the NRG festival, he's never seen again. If Lucy and Brad and all of their stories are true, their last time of seeing Jay was at the festival. But what doesn't make any sense to us as a community is how Lucy, Brad, Brandon, none of them are protesting. Tell me how Lucy and Brad or any of the friends from Lancashire are just not protesting, demanding answers. They all believe that Jay just fell off a cliff in Masca Mountains. They all believe that Jay just walked off a cliff. Duncan Smith done a brilliant video the other day when he compared the Jay Slater case to the John George case. And the approach taken from both sides were totally different. And that's how you can look at the Jay Slater case and say, this one here has been manipulated from day one. And Debbie Duncan done her first interview. The thing that stood out to me was her saying, I told Jay to have his wits about him. It makes me feel like there was either two reasons why she said that. One, because she knew what he was going there to do, and maybe he was going there to sell drugs, but for some reason, I just don't believe that. Or two, she knew there was going to be people in Tenerife that Jay didn't get on with. So Jay, don't be stupid. You best have your wits about you, because she may have known that there was people in Tenerife that Jay was not going to get on with. So there's this article that I found published on the 19th of June. It was published by the Daily Express. It says here that Lucy Law echoed fears already voiced by Jay Slater's mother that the apprentice bricklayer from Lancashire has been kidnapped. They're basically saying Lucy has echoed what Debbie Duncan is saying and Jay has been kidnapped. She says it has been 3 days now since he was last seen, and the more time goes on, the more I'm sure he has been taken. At first, I wasn't so sure, but now I'm convinced. She says, he is not stupid. If he left the house on his own, he would have walked to the road and then he would have tried to flag a car down or stop someone for help. The more time passes and he has not been seen, then the more we are convinced he has been taken by someone and is being held against his will. The whole thing is just so weird. Someone must have seen him. We are all extremely worried, and the more it goes on, the more dodgier it looks. I just think the fact that no one has seen him makes it all the more sinister. Now, that's exactly what Lucy told the Daily Express. This is the same person that said he went to the mountain with 2 strangers. She claimed she doesn't know these people. She also said in another statement that she was concerned that the police had let Ayub and the other person leave Tenerife because she believes the UK police need to interrogate them. Or maybe, just maybe, that's what Ayub was meaning when he said him and Lucy had a little tiff at the beginning. Because what could they possibly have had a tiff about? But at this moment in time, we've got not only Lucy distancing herself from the situation, but she's also letting us know that it's a serious situation and that the UK police need to be involved. And as days go by, it looks dodgier and dodgier. Now, after 2 or 3 days, why would Lucy and the mum still believe that? Especially if Ayub would have come out and spoken. If Ayub would have went to the police station and had conversations with the police at that point, why would Lucy still feel that way after 2 to 3 days? Why would she still be saying that to the press. There was one more thing I wanted to run through before we wrap this up. Let's check this out. Okay, so I've been tagged in this video on TikTok, ladies and gentlemen, and this is messages between a person called Claire and Rachel. Now, what's being said is Claire and Rachel were going back and forth in the DMs on Facebook because Rachel was moving booky. She was moving weird. She was basically deleting comments. She wasn't posting certain things. It was just things that Rachel was doing within the group that a number of people had questions over. So this person decided to DM Rachel. Now, there's a number of messages here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be here all day, as we can see. Look, there you can just flick through and read messages for days. Now, the writing does look blurry. I can't see what Claire sent, but I think I can see what Rachel has sent. So Rachel says, this all affects the case, and I can assure the family and myself aren't hiding nothing. However, I can't speak for others. Rachel was slyly throwing people under the bus there. But who is she throwing under the bus? Goes on to say, so I'd appreciate you now keeping your opinion of me to yourself. We have all of this information already. The reason we have been quiet is because we have been advised to do so. So if this is going to help find Jay, then that's what we are going to do. Make that make sense, because clearly the person Claire is trying to get information out there that could help find Jay. But for whatever reason, Rachel is deleting that information because it potentially incriminates Brad, it incriminates her, it incriminates others involved. And that was the whole problem about that Facebook account that was run by Rachel. It was the main official account for Jay Slater. Over 500,000 people in there. So she could literally control the narrative within that group. And that was a massive, massive problem. Look, this is things that we already know. We know that Rachel was controlling the narrative. We know that Rachel was involved in the cover-up. But this is just more evidence. This is more proof that not only is Rachel lying in this because she is hiding stuff. She's hiding the post that this lovely lady is trying to put in a group. But she's also at the same time trying to throw other people under the bus without throwing those people directly under the bus. And she's doing that by saying, I can't speak for others. Who is she referring to at this point? It can only be Lucy. It can only be Brandon. Or she could be referring to Ayub. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. A few more things to digest from this video, and we will be back again because there's plenty more content where that came from. So make sure you hit the like button, do subscribe to the channel if we are new, turn your notification bells on so you don't miss out on future videos, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.